Okay. All right. I forgot to change the stream info. Should be art, not the last plague or whatever. Sorry about that. Hello? Oh, it's already on there. Hello? All right. All right. All right. Okay. 1 second. That better? I think that's better. Not going so great. All right. There we go. Start something fresh. Create. Enough for me. Do a new layer. Okay. The plan was to draw this person. I think they're like a Carno VTuber or whatever. But let me go ahead and look around at Carnos real quick. I'm thinking, what if I draw a Carno, but then like give it their like theme? That could be fun, right? Wait, this thing kind of goaded. Also, it's sorry. Uh, I need to turn my fan on. I think. It's a midweek stream. It's Friday. Apparently, it's a holiday. So. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see. Man, I'm seeing a lot that I like, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to draw. You know what I mean? And then a lot that I like and I kind of don't want to draw because it's clearly already a little too something. Hmm. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I'm seeing a lot of this one where it's like the head is straight up and then the hands are waving. Seeing a lot of it. By a lot of it, I mean like two. .3D dinosaur model. We could potentially use this as a reference because it's a little more blocky, and I kind of wanted to go more simple and fun and cartoony. Also, where the fuck did my pen go? Let's go and make this full screen. Would be kind of cool, I think. Fossil fighters. Fuck is fossil fighters, dude? Actually, wait, I think I played Fossil Fighters. I feel like I played. Is that a Game Boy game? Hold on. Is this from a Game Boy game? This model looks way too advanced for Game Boy. Fossil fighters. Let's just see. Nintendo DS. I definitely didn't have that. Jesus Christ, the amount of fucking ads on a website these days is just insane. Here we go. 2008 was the first one, so probably not. Looks like it's the DS one. I feel like I played something like this on, like, I want to say just straight up Game Boy. Oh well. Oh look, it's Ishtola. What if I just search for Carnotaurus entirely and not just Carno? Will we get not random ass other stuff? Okay, alright. Okay. Wait, this dude's kind of goofy looking. The fuck? Why does this one look fucking... Hold on. This looks AI generated as fuck to me. What it probably is AI stole this style. I've noticed this a lot, actually. Most AI art in quotation marks, has the style of those really shitty, um, it's like the spammers. They like come to like streamers and like, oh wow, your stream's so good. But you know what would really elevate it? A new a new profile picture and a banner. And guess who sells that? Me. It's me. I do. So you kind of get stuck with like this really shitty thing if you go and even look at their stuff, which I don't recommend you do, but you can also just see them on VGen all the time if you like look around for like people to commission. It's like this really stupid style that I'm going to be honest, this whole time I thought was AI generated. Like for years. I don't mean like in the way we talk about, because AI generating images has come a long way and is impressive, right? Computationally impressive. It still doesn't look like something, it's not right. There's something wrong with it generally. But like the ability to generate an image is still pretty impressive, even if I think it's a waste of resources. But I feel like it's been being done for decades. It's just the difference now is it's like maybe a little closer to your prompt, and they've been fed. This is where I think the real difference is. They've been fed a ton, and I mean a ton of stolen artwork to try and steal ideas, which is not something you would generally have had before. So before, what it would be is, sorry, I feel like there's something in my throat. Anyway, what it would be is you would have something and it would be like, here's an ad for our app that cartoonifies you, right? And it has like just the one style that it works from basically. And it like puts a thick outline around you and, you know, picks like a color and just shades it, right? It's just a set of parameters the same as modern stuff, but it didn't have as much to work with. So it would just like, it would be like, here's this, take a picture of your cat, turn them into a human, turn yourself into a cat. But it would always have this really goofy ass, blocky, like simplistic style that I think was probably just like the style that they could afford to use at the time. And now that they had free reign to steal, they had free reign to steal. And I think this whole time that those were probably like, if you uploaded a picture of yourself to that was like part of training those programs. Same with like, if you've ever seen On Reddit, people will be like, oh, I want to draw your cat in this style. Please post a picture of them. I'm pretty sure they're just feeding it to AI and shit like that, and they've been doing that for years. Okay. How to draw Carnotaurus. No thanks. We make shit up around here. Man, I feel like these are either too detailed or not detailed enough. I might draw this printable thing. Because I feel like this is funny. Original Toys 3D. We're going for it. We're going to see what we can pull off here. How am I on this? I don't recall using that for anything. Of course, now we're on this. Jesus. Every time I go to use that, something else happens. Okay. Where do we start here? Oh, let me move my seat over so I can, I don't know, center my hand easier without having to like go like this maybe. Hmm. Oh, we're on fucking blue. That's right. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, we shrink it just a smidgen. Okay. Feels like it's a bit much. Okay. We're just trying to get like a basic shape down for now. We'll see how we feel about it and go from there. Okay. I don't know why I didn't just control. Hold on. Just control Z that. Okay, we're gonna need to shrink it again. Let's zoom out a sec. 1 second. All right, all right. Why does this just not feel proportionate? Okay. 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 All right. Why does it not do it sometimes? Please, dude, I just want to fucking zoom in. Why do you gotta do this shit? I just don't see why it's always doing shit like that. It's so frustrating. Hmm. I don't think I can do this. It's like too much perspective change. Why is this so difficult? Just way too big. Okay. Okay. I feel like the leg just doesn't feel right to me. Okay. Let's try and shrink it. See if that does anything. A little better, I guess. Okay. All right, that's definitely not going to be right. Oh. Nope. Come on. Okay. Alright. Try and redo the front of the face here. If I can find my fucking... There it is. You know what? Let's undo all of that. Okay. This sucks. What am I doing? Okay. Okay. Let's put something maybe more like that. And then kind of come up out of that. And then this is where... Dude, this does not look good at all, dude. Oh, it's so fucking frustrating. It's one of those things where I won't be able to tell until later. You know? Why do I have so many fucking phone notifications, dude? Stop. Just fuck off. Alright. Let's pretend we're drawing that. We want to kind of come in for the eye. Okay. So now let's actually try and draw the eye, shall we? Okay. Hey. God, it's so fucking frustrating. Why is this program like this? It could work so flawlessly and it just chooses not to. Okay. Yeah, this is not working. Fuck, dude. Just move that there for now. We'll move it somewhere else later. No, not reselect. I just did deselect. I know that for a fact. Alright. Let's make sure that we're on the right thing at this point. There we go. A little better. Thinking maybe we move this just slightly over to this way. If we can. Okay. Maybe take this eye, shrink it a little bit. That there. Okay. I don't know how to draw this. Also, how did this come back exactly? It's fine. We're probably going to have to do a finer line thing and then get rid of it later. Alright. Come on. What if we do something along the lines of this? I'm going to make them a little pointier than in the thing. Wait, what is... Hold on. She have to... Okay. She has, like, normal teeth. We're not going to keep scrolling after what we just saw. It's too risky. Too risky. She has pretty normal teeth, so... She done got the shark teeth. Okay. I don't know how this is quite going to work. We're going to try our best, though. Maybe move the little nose thing just like a little bit. Maybe. A little something like that, maybe. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. He's a goofy looking motherfucker. I can tell you that. There we go. Give her a little shorter arms, you know? You know, maybe I should look into this, but do Carnos have sexual dimorphism? Is that a thing? Like, would a female Carno not have spikes? Or like smaller spikes? I'm gonna do that thing where I stand and yap for a second. Alright. So far, not looking good. Feel like our perspective and whatnot is pretty far off. Not quite sure how I'm gonna do that other leg and arm. I guess we could figure it out. I'm thinking a lot of the depth is gonna have to come from a coloring in process that I just didn't do. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm trying to think of how I can like make this a little less Carno looking and a little more like cartoony. So it does feel a little generic right now to me. I think a lot of that's going to have to come from coloring though. All right. Okay. How? Come on. All right, since that's not working at the moment, let's just type in sketch so we know that this is the sketch layer. Is this working now? There we go. No, that's not enough. Right? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ba ba dum. Okay. Dude, this looks so fucking bad. Honestly, might need to like go a little thicker back here, which is a bit of a surprise, really. Maybe a little shorter here. And like something like that, maybe. You know what? I think we're supposed to have that little, like, this thing, this little weird toe here. The little dangly boy. There we go. Alright. It's not too bad, is it? Bro. This fucking angle is atrocious. I can't even... So because this, like, shitty 3D printing thing didn't use different color filaments for most of it... Fuck, I dropped my pen. Hold on. Okay, because they didn't use different color filaments, right? You have... Hold on. You know what? What am I doing? Am I an idiot? Open image in new tab. There we go. So you have like white for the teeth and the foot claws, and then like tan underneath, white for the eyes, black for part of the eye, and black for the horns. But then the rest of the entire body is red, including the nails on the fingies, and it's super hard to make them out. almost looks like a fucking hand, doesn't it? I don't like that, actually. I genuinely don't like this. Why does that look like a human hand? I've never been able to draw a human hand this well. And now it's almost like Hume style. Okay. Honestly, this doesn't work. Not with the angle of the rest of this stuff. So what I'm gonna do is try and move it. It's a little better, I think. I actually don't really feel like this arm angle works very well either. So we're gonna try and move that as well. Maybe shrink it a bit. Okay. That's right, we don't actually select for that. Let's go ahead and save this. And just call it the Carno Queen. Let's feel it out. All right. I feel like this is fine, but it just doesn't feel like it's what I wanted to do. And I don't know how to make that happen. Okay. Whatever is going on around the eye, I'll just have to do in like color phase. So I don't feel like I can get more detail and expressiveness out of this as is. Am I crazy? Maybe a little lower. Okay. This is just all stuff I think that would be easier solved if I used color, which we will. We're just not there yet. I'm thinking I was all right. So here I am. I'm zooming in. I'm examining things, and I'm thinking, this is probably good enough that I can just color inside this and go through it. But that right up here, these teeth, and it kind of got me thinking maybe I should do a line art. You know, we'll correct the teeth. We'll finalize some of the lines, and we'll draw inside that. So I'm gonna do that real quick. God damn it, dude. Let's go ahead and take this. Opacity like 50 maybe. Okay. Go here. All right, so we're going to do 4. All right, I guess 397 is pretty much 4. Good enough for me. Okay. 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 Don't. Why is this so wobbly? This is like the smallest line, dude. What am I doing? Okay. And the way we're gonna try and show depth here is like with the same way we did folds for Ishtola's skirt or dress, I guess. We're gonna try and do like the dark and light pattern stuff. Fuck. Why is this so much effort? Can't it just go smooth, man? Smooth operator. Come on. That does not look right at all. Feel like the hands and the feet are just awful. You know what? What if I get rid of this and instead I try and have it like come under. Okay, that's not big enough. But you know what I mean? I feel like this might look a little better. Maybe make it look just the tiniest bit less flat. Maybe try and squeeze this down just a little bit. Okay. So what if we go more like this? No, this is not gonna work. There's just like not enough space between the fingers to show definition. Okay. Let's hide that for a second. It's looking really messy in here. Okay. So this should come out like that. Can't be done. I just don't know how to get this right. Is that not part of this? I can't really fucking tell. What if I do this instead? I completely forget whatever the fuck is going on there. Okay. Give me my phone for a second. I want to look up precisely a Carno hand. I want to see what I'm looking at here. This helps. Okay. They have 4 fingers. This motherfucker has 3. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Keep looking. This one has 3 fingers. Okay, but this is a Steam thing. Why does searching Carno hands not get me Carno hands at all? Said it's getting me fucking weird sculptures of hands. There isn't a single picture of Carno hands outside of this Jurassic World thing. Okay. I'm pretty confident it's 4. It's supposed to be 4. Now we can get away with that on this, but I don't know that I can on the other arm. If I just do this. Right? And now you can't even tell. Now the problem here maybe make this one a little smaller. Problem here is this is just too big and too in focus to like get away with anything. So this has to be perfect. And I just can't do that. You know? Oh, it's so much fucking effort. I hate this. I don't like this. God, this looks so fucking bad. Like, actually might be the worst thing I've drawn. Okay, so let's try and clean this up. Obviously not gonna work. It's too big. Okay. Jesus, that hand is all type of fucked up, man. How do I do it? It feels way too big to be a Carno hand, doesn't it? Definitely didn't just try and drink water and spill it all over myself. All right. We did get a little bit of a late stream start. We probably only got like 20 minutes left. I think I'm going to leave the hands as they are. This front one is definitely changing. I don't know if that means I'm going to try and make it better. Or, honestly, I might just get rid of both. And I might make them, like, cartoonishly, comically small. Like, I might just, like, go right after them. Because I think that actually is more accurate. I just, you know, kind of wanted to make it a little more cartoonish and that it had hands. But if I make it cartoonishly small, that could also have an effect. Maybe that'll break up like the way this kind of feels a little more realistic in a way. So we're gonna move on from it for now. We're gonna continue the rest of the line art, if you can call it that. And we'll see where we're at. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, by the way. I think it's Onirin. So we're going to go with Onirin the Carno Queen, if you're wondering why I named it that. They actually follow me on Twitter, which is why I decided to go for it. I was like, fuck it. They might actually see this at some point. But, God, why does this feel wrong? The angle feels really off to me right now. Nah, you know what? Let's redo that. I think nothing bigger than what we've already got, only smaller. I know for a fact we changed to black, but that's fine. We didn't, I guess. Oh, there go my neighbors. Alright, you guys, I feel like I've maybe mentioned this before. I swear, it sounds like they're swimming in bottles. So, like, if you've ever seen a Scrooge McDuck meme where he's... I know it's from a real cartoon before it's a meme, but if you've ever seen the meme, I feel like more people have seen the meme than have seen the actual, like, the Donald Duck? I think it's Donald Duck, right? It's like his uncle or something. His uncle's uncle. Um, but if you've ever seen the thing where he's swimming through gold coins, I swear to God they do that with glass bottles in there. I don't know what the fuck they have so many for, but I swear that's what they're doing. They just will like randomly go in their garage, I guess, and be like, "Yep, time for a swim." Okay. Right? So if we get rid of that now, we should be more or less free. Okay, so we do not need that any longer. Alright, it looks exactly the fucking same, and I didn't have any reason to do that. Alright, let's take a little peek. I'm thinking maybe we get rid of this. How do we feel? It's a little better. Maybe we shorten that. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. We can take care of all that with shading. All right. So on the spikes, not the ones on the head, but there's like little spines on the body. What are we thinking? Do I draw them in now? Or do I wait until we have like a base thing down and draw them over, kind of how we did like the feathers on Ishtola or the horns on Jax? I feel like we draw them in later so that we can get like a good base system going and kind of work around that. I feel like that's generally easier. All right, let me I guess I should have pre-done this. But we're going to download a picture of what's her face and steal her colors. I'm not shaking, but well, I guess I am, aren't I? Here we go. There's that. There's that. Perfect. Save image as. Sorry. We open. Is it opening? There we go. We got her. Ladies and gentlemen. We got her. We got her. So from here, what the fuck? She don't got a back? They didn't even put details on the back? Bro. That kind of sucks. Yeah, let's face it, neither do I. Oh no, my tracking. I'm not folded. Okay, there we go. So, here's what I'm thinking. Hair color for base color. Skin color for undercarriage. I think I'm going to do more than just the jaw. Like maybe kind of come down to here. For the horns, she's got horns, so we'll just use that color. And she's got like little purple things on her legs, so we'll try and get those. For the nails, I do feel like this is going to be a little weird. I'm hoping, let's find out, that these are a different color. Because she's holding up her nails like this. So I was thinking maybe... Okay. Yeah, we could probably get away with making her nails the nail color. Roughly. Roughly. I think we could get away with that. So we'll do that. Eye, obviously we can do the eye. I don't know. Do I bother doing palette town? I feel like I never use the palette. I end up just going here because there's like so many different colors I put in. All right. Let's grab what feels like it has the most color, like the most of it as our base. I'm thinking this one. And now we are going to do this. We're going to call it base. Start our base of operations. And I guess we'll do this the hard way, which is also the easy way, remarkably. Let's put the lard on top so that it's easier to stay in line. I feel like we're drawing on the lard. Okay. It's like, how is that not showing up over it? Anyway, I was gonna say I feel like I like the way things look with that really heavily cell shaded look and a nice thick line art / outline. I really love the way that looks. Just not when I do it. I feel like when I draw, I really like how my stuff looks when I get a little more like free with it and like I don't know that this is the actual word. I know this is a word. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna use the word first so I can embarrass myself. Um, the word is painterly. I feel like I like how mine looks when it's more painterly. I'm gonna look up if I use that word right because I don't feel like I did. I don't know why, but it just doesn't feel right. Um, but like, you know what I mean? When I'm just like, fucking maybe take the base colors, maybe take like some of the shadow colors and stuff, but I just kind of fucking freehand most of the stuff, and the line art is more of an outline, and then I break out of the line art. I draw things outside of that base layer, right? I feel like it just looks better when I just stop following the fucking rules and just send it, as opposed to like setting parameters of the lines and staying in them. I feel like it's much harder for me to get a 3D layer or a 3D look out of that. And so like the line art ends up making it look more 2D, whereas I'm trying to make things look as three-dimensional as possible. And I get that's a skill issue, but I don't know, I'm just trying. All right, let's take a little peek here. How off am I on the word painterly? I know that's a word. I just don't know if I used it right. Painterly. Our painterly is an autistic, no, it's an artistic term used to describe a style where the finished work highlights the physical process of painting. Okay, I don't think that's right. Wait, this is Google. Hold on, this is Google AI. This is Google AI. Here's Merriam-Webster. Of, relating to, or typical of a painter. Suggestive or characteristic of a painting or of the art of painting. Marked by an openness of form which is not linear and which sharp outlines are lacking. You know what? First off, AI totally betrayed us. Merriam-Webster, we trust you. Fuck it. Also, you know what? Let's double check our work. Let's double check our work. I mean, Merriam-Webster's probably never let me down before. I don't know who Tate is, but I'm not looking up yet. Where's definition.com or whatever? Definition. Here we go. Fuck you, AI. Wikipedia. Painterliness. All right, fine. Mm-hmm. Who is that? Get the fuck out of here. Concept based on German Maler. Okay, bro. Look. I'm allowed to not pronounce this shit from 1864. All right. This dude's kids probably killed my grandparents or great grandparents, rather. Anyway, uh, a painting is said to be painterly when there are visible brushstrokes in the final work, the result of applying paint. I feel like we kind of get that. And it's funny because that's that thing that I've been trying so hard to not get. Like the spell, for example, in the Ishtola's thing and the glow it causes just feels like random strokes to me. And I was really hating on it. I don't know. I feel like it's not quite painterly. So I used the word correctly, but I didn't, you know what I mean? Like in terms of the phrase, I used it correctly. In terms of actually creating that kind of work, I would say borderline. Because in general, my shit does blend relatively well. So if it's got to have visible brush strokes, yeah, I do have that, but it's like less on purpose and more because I'm an amateur and I wouldn't know how to not. Painterly is such a fun word. I love it. If only I knew how to draw. I think it's funny that I actually like looking at paintings like that, but for some reason mentally, like when I'm drawing something, I really want it to like blend. I don't know, it's like I want it to look almost real, like it could exist outside of where it is. And I think that's why I do this combination of things where um I both get a little too into um how do I put it? I get into like too detailed, right? I'm just adding like a random line or two when I should probably just move on. And I get to a point where I do tell myself, you know what? Like every little line I add maybe does do something, but like it's so much more effort to like stare at this and figure out what I want to do that it would honestly be more worth my time to just move on and like, you know what I mean? I feel like there's less to be learned and there's less to gain from adding the 0.1% of things to something that's like 95% of the way there in terms of the maximum output I can do, like in terms of my skill and my abilities, if you will. So it's like if it's almost as good as I could possibly do, and that is simply because I have already like managed to learn things that I didn't know when I started. So like, you know what I mean? Like the fold shading and stuff. So like if that is what I'm doing, like learning things as I'm doing it, if I spend all of this time just drawing like a couple of lines here and there because I feel like they'll slightly improve the dimensionality of it, I feel like I'm not really gaining anything. Like, okay, the picture will probably look better, but it's going to go from 95% of the 100% I'd like to achieve with it in terms of as good as I could do at the time, because surely it's not going to even then be as good as I possibly could want it. But it's going to, you know, like I said, be 95% of the way. Even if I get it to 100% of what I could do then at that point in time, 2 months later I'll be better and think, damn, I could have done this better. I can do this. Am I gonna revisit that and like add lines to it every so often, or does it make more sense to say, you know what, we did our best with this. It's at 95% out of 100% of what I can do right now. And that 100% consists of like maybe hundreds of tiny little dots and pixels or whatever, pixels or lines that probably won't be noticed. I probably won't even remember that I did them. And I'm not really learning anything from it. You know, I feel like I'd just be better off moving on from that. I don't know. I feel like if I move on from it, I start learning something else instead. Um, I feel like I'm better off for it. And if it's going to, at best, let's say I spend the extra, like, I guess at this point, 2 weeks, so probably like 5 hours or something to improve it, we're going to go from 95%, of our capabilities to 100%. But our capabilities won't have improved. So we're going to be sitting at 95 to 100, but the 100 hasn't changed. But now, I feel like we're problem solving again instead of just looking at things and how we can make them look better by adding a line here and there. Now we're looking at things and being like, well, we have this, we have that. Um, how do I make this angle look better? I wouldn't have been able to problem solve that. Does this look better? No, but you know what I mean? Like, this doesn't look fantastic or anything, but I do feel like I've already learned a little bit. I feel like it looks better than if I had tried to make this a month ago, right? Everything I learned from Ishtola, and I think if I go back to Ishtola, I could probably potentially, by the time I finish this, I could potentially have done things better if I had started Ishtola now. But there's, a little bit of a difference there. And, okay, we're going to leave out the arm for now. Because what I'm thinking about doing is just making it comically stubby with just little points. So we're going to leave out both arms. I know that's adding extra work for later, but I think it's potentially going to be funny. And it's going to be easier if I do it this way now. And it's not going to be much harder. But I don't know. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense because, everything I learned from this, I wouldn't learn if I just spent that time drawing a couple of lines that are maybe going to 3Dify that a little better. But, like, I'm not learning that much. So, like, the scale of what my 100% is will. So at the end of Ishtola, I would say she's 95% of my 100% of skill. A lot of that's missing due to like patience and whatnot, obviously, but and the fact that I started it without the skills to do something, so I had to like learn on the fly, and you know certain things we didn't even know about until we had already kind of done them and we didn't go back to fix them, that type of thing. So we had the 100% pinnacle at Ishtola. We did her 95% of the way to our 100% skill level because we just don't have the time. If I could work on one for 18 hours a day, sure. But, we just don't have that skill level or time. And it just, to me, makes sense because now what was our 100% is now, by the time I finish this, going to be our 95%. You know what I mean? So, like, our ceiling will have gone up. So now our 100% is going to be more skill. Therefore, Ishtola will, instead of being 100% of our skill, if we were to have done it, and all that, it'll be 90% of what we can do now. Obviously, these numbers are made up, and so are words. The entire English language. Not real. Believe it or not, somebody fucking made this shit up. Unreal. It's my favorite engine. Okay. I that makes sense, right? Like saying that obviously I want to produce the things that I'd produce as best as I possibly can in any given moment. But, you know, whether or not I actually can, it's pretty debatable. And whether or not it's feasible or even makes sense to, right? I don't think bringing Ishtola to 100% outside of maybe fixing her hair, because I did make a mistake on the hair. I don't really think anything would have made it that much better, and I wouldn't really be that much more proud of it, because I am kind of proud of it. I feel like it's my best work yet, and it like actually almost looks like something. And what's even better to me about it is just about everything I've drawn is either like maybe a screen grab of like someone's model, or you know, it's like art that's already made and I'm just like working off of to learn from. This was like a 3D figurine model picture that does not exist as artwork anywhere, you know? Like you could argue the picture of the model is art, and that's fine. I can agree to that. It's well composed. But like we drew that, you know? That's like our first kind of real thing in a way. Well, you know, that's not fair. I've drawn plenty of knives. This is actually going to be tan in the future, so actually let's stop that. Let's maybe work out a different way to do this. I think I might stop at this line, actually. Okay. So, let's back out. Here's what I'm thinking. Down to, like, here. But, like, we're not sure about the arms yet. So, that might change. And then tan from here to, like, maybe down here. I don't know. What do we think? Here's what I'm going to do. It's about time for me to get off for today. We'll be on tomorrow, so we should be good. Let's PNG this. So we're gonna get off. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Please let me know. Should I make the just like the goofiest little arms, just like you know, super cartoonishly small? Let me know. I probably won't see it by the time I draw the next day, but we'll do it. We won't. I know. I'd at least like your opinion to see if I'm right. I'll think about it too. But anyway, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you. And let me know also if you want me to do like that much tan or maybe just under the chin or whatever. But have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.